college to learn how to be a teacher. So one of my assignments is to come and teach a quick lesson with a group of students. So I'm here. So what we're going to do today is learn a little bit about dinosaurs and what they used to eat and some of their dietary needs. Now, all living things need to eat, right? Yeah. But do all living things eat the same stuff? No. No, like, do you eat the same stuff your dog eats? No. No. And does your dog eat the same stuff that maybe your snake would eat? No. So different creatures eat different types of things. Dinosaurs were very much the same way. Some dinosaurs ate only plants, and do you know what that would be called if something eats only plants? Herbivore. Very good, an herbivore. Now, if something eats only meat, what would that be called? Carnivore. Very good. Now, what if something eats both plants and? You guys are smart. You're very, very smart. Now, how could we tell if a dinosaur was an herbivore or an omnivore or a carnivore? Yes?
The shape of their teeth.
Absolutely, the shape of their teeth. So, you guys are learning to read, yes?
Yeah.
So what is that one? Very good. And? Very good. Carnivore. Now, you can tell what they eat by the shape of their teeth. You're right. So, this is the teeth of an herbivore dinosaur, right? So his teeth are more flat for grinding the plants down, right? Now, what is an animal that's alive today that would be an herbivore? Yes?
Alligator?
Again. Yes?
Bird?
Bird, yes?
Antelope?
Yes. Think really big. Sometimes they have them as a pet. You can ride on them. Yes?
Lizard?
Ride big. Ride on them. Yes?
Elephant?
A little smaller. Yes?
Horse?
A horse. Good. A horse is an herbivore. So a horse's tooth, this is a real horse's tooth, is flat on the top. And that is good for what? For grinding the plants together. Now what about your teeth? Can you feel your teeth with your tongue? Are they real flat like a horse's tooth? No, but are they really, really jagged like a carnivore's teeth? No. They're kind of bumpy, yes.
They're like flat and they have like two sharp teeth.
Exactly. They're called our canines, right? They're really sharp because we are omnivores, so we kind of have like a mix of the two, right? So an omnivore dinosaur or an omnivore animal, such as ourselves, have kind of the rough back molars, but then the sharp, also canines, good for eating both meat and plant material, right? Very good. So if you want, you can pass around the horse's tooth so you can get a good look at it. It's pretty neat. You can touch it or you can keep it in the bag. It's kind of gross, but there you go. And so a carnivore's tooth would be more jagged and sharp, right? Good for ripping apart the meat. Okay. So let's talk about some dinosaurs, because there's other ways to tell, especially with the dinosaurs, more so than with animals that are alive today, other than just their teeth, if they're herbivore, carnivore, or omnivore. Does anyone know what this guy is? Stegosaurus. Very good, Stegosaurus. Now, if we look at him, how many legs does he walk on? 4. And he has good defenses, right, to protect himself. His spiny back and his spiky tail. Now, what do you think a Stegosaurus is? Very good. He is. He's an herbivore. Because you can tell, because he's probably a little slower. He walks on 4 legs. He's a little closer to eating the plants. He also has defenses to protect himself from the carnivorous animals. So let's put him over here, the Stegosaurus. Now, let's see. What about this guy?
Carnivore.
And what kind of dinosaur is he? Very good. How can you tell he's a carnivore? Yes.
His teeth.
Good. His teeth. Yes. How else? Now, if you didn't, because would you be able to get up close to him and examine his teeth?
No.
Not really. So if you were to observe him from far away, how could you tell he was a carnivore?
His He only walks on 2 feet.
He walks on 2 feet, so he could probably go faster to catch his prey, right? It's not just sitting there on a bush waiting for him. Yes. So very good. So he is a carnivore. So let's put him over here. Okay. What about this guy? Does anyone know what this one is? Brachiosaurus. Very good, Brachiosaurus. What is he? Very good. How can you tell?
His long neck so he can reach up into the tree.
Absolutely, yes.
He also walks on 4 legs.
He also walks on 4 legs. Now, he doesn't have spines on his back, though, like a stegosaurus. So what would his defenses be? Yes?
How tall?
Possibly good. Yes?
His tail.
His tail. He could use his tail. Now, have you ever seen a giraffe when they get upset with another giraffe? Do you know what they do? They do. They swing their necks back and forth. So do you think he could have possibly done the same thing as a defense mechanism? Yes, very good. So he would go over with the stegosaurus. Okay. Now let's see. What is this one?
Pterodactyl.
I'm tricking you with this one. He's Pteranodon, the P is silent, Pteranodon. Now, he's very, very similar to a pterodactyl. The Pteranodon has like this big bony structure that comes out of the back of his skull here, whereas the pterodactyl does not. It's a little smaller. What would he be? It's tricky, right? He was actually a carnivore. He was actually a carnivore. Think of him as like a modern day pelican. He was actually found around here off the coast in North America, and he would fish all the time. So he ate fish, mollusks, different types of sea life. So he was actually a carnivore. So let's put him over here with the T-Rex. Okay, let's see. You guys recognize this one?
No.
A little bit?
Carnivore. Kind of.
He was a carnivore. His name was a plesiosaurus. I think he's funny. Because they say that he was a polite dinosaur because his name says please in it. Plesiosaurus. Now he was a carnivore, somebody said it. So what do you think he ate? Yeah, fish, mollusk, sea life, right? Because he lived in the water. He was found over in Europe. Have you ever heard of the Loch Ness Monster? Over there, where it's a legend that they say there was a big sea monster that lived over by England in the waters. Well, nobody ever really found him, but they often say that they think that he was like the plesiosaurus dinosaur a long time ago because he was like a serpent-type reptile that lived in the water there. So let's put him over here with the carnivores. He's a funny looking one. He's an oviraptor, so he's a type of a raptor. He was kind of small. He was about our size for a dinosaur. He was an omnivore. He ate both plants and meat. He ate a lot of plants. He also liked to eat eggs, so he was kind of an egg thief too. Yes. He was very fast. He kind of looks like a bird, doesn't he? So he has 2 legs. So he's upright, like a carnivore, probably for catching some of his prey, the smaller creatures that were roamed at the time of the dinosaurs. But then he also had like a beak, so also good for grinding plant material, right? Grinding nuts, grinding seeds, that kind of stuff. So the oviraptor, that's an omnivore, so let's stick him here in the middle. You guys know what this guy is? Yeah, Ankylosaurus. Ankylosaurus. He was a herbivore. How can you tell? Yes?
All of his defenses on his body.
He does, very similar to the Stegosaurus, yes? How else can you tell? Yes? He does, he walks on 4 legs, very good. So chances were he ate plant-type material, so let's stick him over here by the Brachiosaurus. Alright. That's easy one. Triceratops, yes. Why is it called a Triceratops? Yeah.
Because of the 3 horns on its head.
Exactly, because of the 3 horns on her head. Herbivore, omnivore, carnivore? How can you tell? Yes, just you can tell me. Yes.
More like defenses on his body.
Yes, so she would use her horns or her
4
big.
legs.
And she has 4 legs. Very good. Very good. So let's stick her over here with other herbivores. Yes. And he was found over in like Egypt, that kind of area. He was actually a.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to the Spinosaurus. Okay, so he was a carnivore. He was actually even larger than the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You wouldn't think so, right? You've always learned that the T-Rex is the largest dinosaur, at least the largest carnivorous dinosaur, right? Spinosaurus was actually bigger. Not much bigger, but he was. He was bigger. So he was pretty neat. So where he goes with the carnivores, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's put him here. And then our last dinosaur that we're going to talk about is this little guy. He is. He's going to be an omnivore. He's called a Troodon. Can you say Troodon? Troodon. Now, he was an omnivore. He was about 55 pounds. So is that really big for a dinosaur?
No.
Not really, right? So he probably had to be quick. How can you tell he was fast? Yes.
He ran on 2 legs.
He does. He's got 2 legs, right? For his primary. And then he also had a beak. So, like the oviraptor, he was quick to eat other animals, smaller animals, eggs, that kind of thing, to be a carnivore. But, yep, he also had the beak to grind the seeds and the nuts and the plant matter, like the herbivores. Yes?
He almost looks like the other one.
He does. They're very similar, right? Probably because they had a lot of the same dietary needs. Now, there was not very many omnivore-type dinosaurs. Most of them were either herbivores or carnivores. Yes?
Looks like a chicken mixed with a dinosaur.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Now, there was no way for paleontologists to tell if a dinosaur had scales or feathers or fur because they just had their bones to study. So, they could tell by the anatomy of most of the omnivores that they were probably more bird-like, so chances were that they had feathers. Yes?
Wouldn't it run faster because it had longer legs, not just 2 legs?
Probably. You know, because humans weren't alive then, scientists weren't able to document how fast they could potentially run. But chances were, because he did seem to have longer legs, they probably had more muscle around his legs to go faster. Yes?
Where were most dinosaurs found?
All over the world. So the Pteranodon was found here in North America, along our coast actually, so like a pelican. Whereas then you have the Stegosaurus, who was found in like Wyoming and Colorado and that kind of thing. And then you have the Plesiosaurus, who's found over in Europe, by England and France and Germany. And then you have the Spinosaurus, who's found kind of like in Africa, up by Egypt and the northern part of Africa there, Libya. So I have a project for you guys to do. Yes,
Do you think that the 2 omnivores would have ran faster because they were lighter?
probably. And I don't know if they would have run faster than, say, some of these carnivore dinosaurs because their legs were so long they could take larger strides. But because they were smaller, they could probably duck in and out and through things a lot easier. Yes?
When they're heavy, sometimes they kind of go over slow, and when they're lighter, they can go faster.
Exactly. Okay, just a second, guys. I want to show you a project real quick, okay? And then I'll come back to your questions. So, does anyone know what this thing is? Yes, what is it?
A Venn diagram?
It is. It's a Venn diagram. So you're going to be creating Venn diagrams today. Now, it's to tell you, it's kind of like a chart to tell you what something can be all by itself over here and something can be all by itself over here. But then in the center, it can be both, right? Just like our dinosaurs with their dietary needs. So you guys are going to work with your groups. I'm going to give you each a Venn diagram. You're going to trace your Venn diagram because yours is going to be just in pencil. So trace it so you can see it, please. And then I'm going to give you some dinosaurs, these guys up here. You're going to place them in the proper area and then color them, glue them on, and then label them either herbivore, omnivore, or carnivore. Okay? And when you're all done, I actually brought you a little treat. Or carnivore. Okay? And when you're all done, I actually brought you a little treat. Alright? So, give you guys each your stuff.
Just give me one. I don't care what's in it. Give me a chicken. Here. Brandon, start gluing these on. Give me one of them. Give me one. How will it be? And then I'll take it. Yeah. No, the omnivore should be in the middle. Yeah. I'll just do a color pencil.
No, I probably blend it in, right?
Yeah, it feels like a whale.
You don't be really green.
It's a good feel. I just thought of an animal. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you help me. It doesn't matter if you get glue on it. It's just There, I'll take them. I'll take my beautiful little You don't have to glue it. Yeah, you can just lay it down.
It's okay, guys, if it's not finished, but we're going to just review real quick to make sure that you pretty much have your dinosaurs in the right area on your Venn diagram. Okay? So I'm going to ask each table where each dinosaur will go. So let's see. So the table over there in the back, where would the Spinosaurus go? Carnivore. Very good. Does everybody have their Spinosaurus in the carnivore section? Yes. Very nice. Okay. What about the Trudon? That table back there, yes. Where would the Trudon? Very good. Does everybody have them in the omnivore section?
Yes.
Marvelous. All right. This table up here, where would your Stegosaurus be?
Herbivore.
Herbivore, very good. Yes? Everybody good? Yeah. Excellent. What about the pteranodon, this table right here? Where would he go?
Carnivore.
Very good. Everybody have him in the carnivore section?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. What about the brachiosaurus, this table here?
Herbivore.
Herbivore. Does everybody have him in the herbivore section?
Yes.
Marvelous. And who was this dinosaur? The very good. And that table in the back again. Where's the plesiosaurus go?
It goes in the carnivore.
Very good. Everybody good?
Yep.
Okay. And who is this one?
Ceratops.
Ceratops. Very good. And that table in the back?
Herbivore.
Very good. Everybody got him in the right spot? Good. And the
Oviraptor.
Oviraptor. Yes, this table here in the middle.
Omnivore.
Omnivore. Good. Everybody got him in the right spot? And this one?
Tyrannosaurus.
And this table up here? We're
Carnivore.
Carnivore. Very good. And then our last dinosaur is the Plesiosaurus. This table, where does he go? Herbivore. Very, very good. Okay, make sure your name is on your work, and then I have a treat that I brought you guys. So I brought you a little worksheet. It says, if I had a pet dinosaur, would you want a pet dinosaur?
Yes.
So if you had a pet dinosaur, would it be a boy or would it be a girl? And then you circle your answer. And then down here it says, what would you name it? And then you have to think of a name. And then it says, my dinosaur would eat bananas. So then you write bananas. And then if your dinosaur ate bananas, would that make it an herbivore, omnivore, or carnivore? Herbivore. Very good. And then my 3 favorite things to do with my dinosaur would be, and then you write them down. And then on the back, if you want to draw your dinosaur, you can. And then I brought you some dinosaur stickers. Thank you very much for having me.
Can we just keep them here? What are we going to do? Oh, we should put them on